Our group has researched the Belt Series in northern Idaho. The Belt Series was named after the Belt Mountains in western central Montana. The Idaho Belt Series contains the oldest rocks in Idaho. It is composed mainly of marine sediments that have metamorphosed over time. The metamorphosis was caused by extreme heat and pressure. The Belt Series is not just local to Idaho. It is part of a larger formation called the Belt Supergroup, which can be found in parts of Montana, Washington, Wyoming, and British Columbia, Canada. The oldest rocks in the Belt Supergroup are 1.47 billion years old. They were formed during the Precambrian eon, and more specifically during the Proterozoic era, which ranged from 2.5 billion years ago to 545 million years ago. Earth's crust was formed during the Precambrian eon. The word Proterozoic comes from the Greek protero, which means former, and zoe, which means life. During the Proterozoic era, the earliest shelled animals were formed, just after the Archean era when life began. The Precambrian period was named after Cambria, the classical name for whales, since this was where the first examples of ancient life were discovered. The Precambrian, then, is the time before life was abundant. Even though the Idaho Belt Series contains Precambrian rocks, these are not the only rocks found in this area. There are also marine deposits from the Paleozoic era. Paleo means old, so this era is essentially called Old Life. Later, the intrusion of the Idaho batholith uplifted the land, causing the mountainous terrain we are familiar with today. The Idaho batholith uplifted during the Mesozoic era. Meso means between or middle, so Mesozoic literally means middle life. Heat from the Idaho batholith uplift caused the country rock to metamorphose. Then glacial activity deposited the youngest rocks currently found in the Idaho Belt Series. Now we are going to tell you about the major rock types in this area. The Precambrian rocks are mostly sedimentary. Examples of this include claystone and silt. There are also metamorphosed rocks such as gneiss and quartzite.
The Idaho Belt Series contains many types of rocks, some of which include siltstone and claystone, fine-grained sedimentary rocks that indicate that the region was once underwater. There is also the presence of conglomerate, a sedimentary rock composed of clasts of other rocks that have been cemented together over time. These clasts are rounded, which indicate that this conglomerate was formed in a beach environment as opposed to a glacial environment. The region also contains metamorphic rocks, such as gneiss, mica schist, and quartzite. This indicates that the region was subjected to heat and pressure over a long period of time. The presence of these rocks on the surface is evident that uplift has occurred in the Idaho Belt Series.
These rocks are all approximately 1.4 billion years old. They formed in shallow and transitional or shoreline marine environments. During the Paleozoic era, there was further deposition of marine sediments in this area. The most prevalent is found in the southern region of the Idaho Belt Series. These sediments are carboniferous, which means they were derived from shells and skeletal remains. An example of this is the trilobite. These deposits are 286 to 360 million years old. After the uplift of the Idaho batholith during the Cretaceous period, Earth's crust that had been covered by water was then exposed to air. Creta is Latin for chalk. Chalk is a soft, fine-grained type of limestone composed predominantly of the armor-like plates of coccolithophores, which are tiny floating algae that flourished during the late Cretaceous. Evidence that Idaho was once oceanfront property. The heat from the uplift metamorphosed the sedimentary rock. Uplift is evidenced by intrusion of granite found in the northern portion of the Idaho Belt Series. Uplift and numerous thrust faults built the mountains. In this newly mountainous region, glaciers formed and deposited the newest rocks in the Belt Series during the Cenozoic era, about 1.6 million years ago, when the Ice Age began. Ceno is based on the Greek root kainos, which means new. The Cenozoic era is the current or new era. Major structural features in the northern region of the Idaho Belt Series are numerous faults, some of which are thrust faults with angles of less than 45 degrees, and anticlines, which indicate the region was under compression. In the southern portion of the Idaho Belt Series, there are synclines and anticlines, thrust faults, and thermal springs. In the northern part of the Idaho Belt Series is a silver mine in Wallace. According to the official website of Wallace, Idaho, this is one of the world's largest silver mines. To date, over 1.2 billion ounces of silver have been mined. There could be another billion ounces of silver to be mined in the Wallace area. Silver deposits are formed by discharge of sedimentary brine, or extremely salty water, onto the seafloor, even more evidence that Idaho was once oceanfront property at one time. The most significant natural hazard in this area are earthquakes. The ground is potentially less stable due to the excessive faulting in the area. This has been a presentation of the Idaho Belt Series, once part of a shallow sea, now home to beautiful mountains.